Yo, what is going on? This is Pothead here. Today, we're going to go into the second part, pretty much, of the I Did Fentanyl video that I released. It's going to be, I think, yesterday or 2 days ago at this point. But we ended off, me and Willie had just gotten home after he went to the hospital. We were just getting high, smoking. Willie was high as fuck off his morphine drip, but his mouth was still, I think maybe I wanted to get high or something. I don't really remember, but for some reason, he got a Percocet from his dad for pain relief, and he gave it to me, and I took it, and, you know, Willie and I were smoking. We smoked for like 5 hours straight. He went to bed at like 5 in the morning. I didn't go to bed because I was just geeked off this perk. You know, he wakes up at like, I don't know, it must have been like 10 a.m., 11 a.m. or something, and I'm still just smoking in his basement. We go get breakfast. We went to fucking IHOP. We always go to IHOP. Got some shitty-ass pancakes, shitty-ass hash browns. I take him back home. As soon as I get to my car, after I get Willie home, I get a text from my lean plug. He just got more lean. Look at that. So I kind of, you know, weigh my options. Go home and rest, feel better for the next week, or drive an hour and a half to get lean and feel worse. So obviously I drove an hour and a half to get lean, and it went, you know, pretty without a hiccup. I get to the plug, grab the drink. I think I bought a deuce or something. It wasn't too crazy, because back then lean was like 30 a line. Shit was like garbage floating in the water. But anyways, so I got this deuce. I'm driving home, and my dad calls me. He's like, yo, I'm coming home from work. We're going to have dinner together, blah, blah, blah. You know, sounded dope. Sounded really good, you know. Good family time with my father. I was like, cool, I'll meet you at the house. And he was like, all right, meet me there. Don't be late. And I was like, whoa, okay. So I'll try and get there before you. I hadn't told him that I was going to this far away to get some drink. So that's why I was kind of like, you know, it was a little weird. I'm literally racing to get home before my dad. Like, not a number that I should disclose was the miles per hour that I was going down this highway to get to my house. But anyways, I make it to the fucking... Oh, it sucks so bad. All right, so I'm driving home. I get off the freeway. I get to the light to cross this, to get to, it's like I cross another like intersection to go over to the road to my house. So I get to that light, and I literally see my dad 4 cars behind me. So I'm like, fuck yes, I did it. I beat him. We're good. So I'm chilling, you know, I'm cruising down to my house. It's only 3 miles. Cruising down. At about 1.5 miles down, there's 2 trailheads. One's on the left and one's on the right. And the one that's on the left is kind of, there's like a mountain on each side of it, and it's kind of in between the mountain. It's kind of like a canyon. I'm driving past it, and I think out of the corner of my eye, I see a police officer. And I wasn't like speeding, but I was speeding. I was going like, you know, 7 miles an hour over the speed limit. So me being high as fuck, 0 sleep, overall, you know, not a very proficient driver at the time, I look over my shoulder, all the way over my shoulder, for probably 4 or 5 seconds in the parking lot, trying to look at this car that I thought was a cop. I'm sorry if the audio just fucked up there. I literally just looked over my shoulder like an idiot doing that. But anyways, so I'm driving around this corner looking at the fucking trailhead, and then I was like, oh, it wasn't a cop. And I look back around, and my car is literally just going off the edge of the road, bro. I'm not even looking at a road anymore. I'm just looking at a fucking hill, because the one to the right, the hiking area to the right that I was going into was down. It wasn't like above. It was... You had to take a road down to it. It was a drop. So I'm going down this like 20-foot drop of rocks and trees and shit, bro. And my windows are down. And so I'm going down this shit at 50 miles an hour, and one of my windows gets hit by like, or a tree hits one of my windows or something. My window comes off somehow, and it flies through my fucking car and hits me in the head. So I black out for a second. I wake up, my fucking car is in a tree at the end of this fucking hiking trail. I have no idea what to do. I have this drank on me. I'm, you know, incoherent. There were these people there that saw this all happen, and they were like, what the fuck? Like, are you okay? And literally I don't really remember it too well, but all I'm told is that I was just screaming about my car, because at the time I had a nice Audi TT 3.6 liter, top of the line. It was a cool car. It was definitely totaled, and I was definitely bummed about it. But then about like 15 minutes of screaming later, I kind of had the concussion kick in. So my dad was 4 cars behind me, and he saw this happen. So he turns around, comes down, comes to get me, like a great father, took me to the hospital, and we sat. Well, I shouldn't say that. We first had to get the car out, which was such a fucking brutal deal of just, I hate people. Like, if you can avoid ever having to deal with police or law enforcement or anything of that nature, do it, because they suck. Because you have to fucking call them and report that the car, like, you can't move it yourself. Then you have to get a police report. Then you have to get a towing report. Then a tow truck comes. Then a sheriff comes. So anyways, we're talking to the sheriff. I'm incoherent. I have this concussion. I hadn't slept all day, high as fuck. By the way, I know some of you might be thinking about that drink. I poured it into a smart water that I had. So I just had this kind of like muddy water, and I just, threw it in this bag of all the shit that I had in the car. I just had it on me. It was good, chilling. So drank was secured, but my life insecure. So we're talking to this sheriff, and he's like, you know what? I'm going to meet you at the hospital. This isn't really working too well. Spoiler alert. It didn't really work too well at the hospital either, because I'm just laying on my dad's lap, just head hurting so much, waiting for them to get me a bed in the ER. And the sheriff is just asking me like questions like, did you see anything, blah, 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 random shit that would get me like caught up that he could give me a ticket for so he can get more money that month or whatever. Police officers fucking suck. Any police officer, you should resign, There's way better occupations out there. But anyways, somehow I get through that, and I didn't even get a ticket for this. I really don't remember it too well. I wish I had a more clear memory of it, but I had a really bad concussion is what it came out with at the x-ray at the ER. The kicker of all of this was that, you remember how like 1 or 2 videos ago I told you I missed my pre-SAT to do Percocet? Well, I missed my fucking actual SAT to drink lean, because the day after my car crash was my fucking SAT, and I had a concussion, so I legally couldn't take my SAT. To this day, I haven't taken the SAT because of this. So that shit is just fucking ridiculous. This was the end of the little mini-series of the time that I did fentanyl, and it kind of sparked a ridiculous week in my life. So what we can learn from this story is 1, never do sketchy Xanax. 2, sleep. Always get good sleep. 3, don't drive on no sleep. Bad idea. Always a bad idea. Sleep before you drive. 4, I'm an idiot, so take anything I say with a grain of salt. Anyways, I hope you guys have a great rest of your day. I'm sorry this video is a little short, but I just want to put something out there, try and keep the daily upload thing going. Hope you guys have a great day, and leave some suggestions in the comments. Peace.